Cable theft and substation vandalism remaining a serious crisis in the city of Johannesburg. We see it with our lights going off all the time in Johannesburg. City authorities say it's an ongoing problem that does come at huge cost. City Power says they've deployed security to substations. Is it going to help? Heidi Giokos, hello to you. eNCA reports as someone who I know doesn't live too far from where I do in Johannesburg, and our lights have been off for days, and we're not even talking about load shedding because of all the issues with City Power. So the acting CEO of City Power saying it's aging infrastructure that is the problem. But we've been hearing this for years, haven't we?
Yes, indeed, Gareth. This has been the issue for years now. If it's not load shedding, it's infrastructure issues. And yesterday, when we had a discussion with the acting CEO of City Power, she highlighted a number of issues that seem to be the problem in the city. You have many areas that are without electricity for days on end, and City Power needing to scramble to try and provide alternative solutions so that residents can at least have electricity while they try and sort out the problem. The acting CEO admitting to the fact that it is indeed a infrastructure problem, an aging infrastructure problem, and that substations need to be repaired, and many of the equipment inside are very old. She admitted to the fact that it takes about 6 to 12 months, sometimes even 2 years, to fully replace the equipment that's needed in a substation for it to be new and for it to be operating at its best. And where I am currently, you have that very problem where the infrastructure is just too old to keep up with the demand. But let's listen to the CEO on this issue of aging infrastructure.
We've got programs within City Power that relate to infrastructure refurbishment and also strengthening and expansion of our network from substations perspective. And at the same time, we are also going alternative energy route, which we are going to fast track from an energy mix perspective, so that we increase the capacity from a generation capacity basis. Currently, we buy from Eskom 90% of our power, and then the other 10% is from Kelvin Power Station, where we signed a PPA last week. And we are going out on a request for information, and some of the streams will be requests for proposals for us to get independent power producers or large power users to partner with us to increase the capacity from a generation perspective. And then at the other hand, we are also doing revenue enhancement initiatives, which include revenue protection, where we are also focusing on protecting the current revenue that we have from our existing customers. It's a continuous program that we've been running, and when we add Soweto customers, we will also continue to ensure that we protect the revenue and the infrastructure, and educate customers on a paying culture, because most of our customers are not paying. We experience about 30% losses from vandalism and theft and non-paying customer challenges.
All right, Heidi, so we're seeing Nancy Maluleke speaking to you on your show yesterday afternoon, also referring to vandalism and theft right towards the end of that particular answer, which is where I understand you are now, the substation, a victim of that a couple of days ago.
Yes, so we do understand this particular substation here in Bromhof and surrounding areas has gone through, if I can say, the most in the last 2 to 3 weeks, with areas not having electricity for days on end. And initially, when we spoke to City Power, they did indicate that it's got to do with vandalism and theft at these substations. But we also understand that contributing to the situation and the difficulty to keep the lights on in these areas is also aging infrastructure. But the CEO indicating to us that billions of rands are spent yearly trying to deal with the vandalism and theft that takes place. It has a lot to do do with informal settlements that are set up in areas nearby where they start tampering with the substation to connect illegally, and then at times you'll have vandalism and theft taking place. This, of course, disrupts electricity supply on a level that is unimaginable, because then you have to come in, look at the damage, try and source those parts, which sometimes takes a very long time. And this particular substation, we do understand, is of course operating on a separate supply at the moment while they try and sort out and source the parts for this particular area. But Gareth, it's not a pretty picture, and what's even more alarming is that City Power wants to take over other suburbs, which also include Soweto, and Soweto has many issues, and we know that the issue also is with regards to the non-payment, but also vandalism and tampering with substations. So City Power has a huge task ahead of them, but the issue of vandalism is possibly their biggest concern at the moment. Let's listen to the acting CEO once again.
The challenges that we are facing at City Power relate to theft and vandalism on our network, and also the illegally connected customers that are not paying for the electricity, and hence straining our network, and it leads to power trips because our transformers cannot carry the load of the unplanned load which is connected illegally.
All right, Heidi Giokos, thank you very much to you out in Bromhof at one of the substations. It's been causing issues over the past few days. Heidi Giokos for us there on the power problems. Back